What's going on, New York Giants fans? Hit Squad back at it with another video. Hey, as you can see, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Tommy's Takes, Tommy G, man. Y'all already
Whoa,
know
whoa,
I've,
whoa.
I've had him on the channel before, but now we're back at it. We're going to be talking about this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trying to go 6-1. I think it's very likely. Tommy, my man, how have you been, brother? Talk to the people, man.
Damn, my brother. I've been living, man. Been moving forward, moving forward with the Tommy's takes, building up the YouTube channel, the Giants Country YouTube channel little by little, just trying to get out there, trying to, carve my own lane. That's the thing about this Giants content creation that I love is that everybody can have a lane, whether you want to do some comedy stuff, whether you want to just do film reviews, whether you want to just talk and BS or whatever, everybody could do their own lane. And that's why I respect you so much because you carved your lane and even redoing the channel and your graphics is sick and the content is fire. Like I got a ton of respect for you. I don't do shows with just anybody. I do get a lot of requests, not trying to be on no cocky stuff, but I do get a lot of requests, but I mess with you heavy, man. And the way you do it is right. And you've been supporting me. You've been supporting the Tommy's takes. You've been there with me since day one, since, we was doing the videos with no face or nothing on it. So, you remember that.
Man, bro, that honestly, man, that made my week. I really appreciate those kind words, man, because you creating a lane for yourself, man. And in the short amount of time you've been on this Giants community in terms of YouTube, bro, you've made your own impact. You're creating a lane, and people are rocking with you, man. And y'all can find Tommy G's not only his YouTube channel, but his Twitter as well in the description box below. Y'all go do yourself a favor, go hit him with the subscribe and follow him. Also follow us on Twitter and join the Hit Squad. Hit that subscribe button as well. Tommy, let's get into this video, man. With the Jacksonville Jaguars, I feel like there's a couple storylines, right? Obviously, the Evan Ingram revenge game. On top of that, the Jaguars were rumored at the time to potentially be interested in Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. They obviously go with Trayvon Walker. I think that this is a game that the Giants look to really establish themselves, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think that this is a team that could be had, especially in the secondary.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny too. The game ended Sunday versus Baltimore, and I was just looking. I was like, this is gonna be a good game. We're gonna get right in this game. They're 2-4. We've been playing well at home. We've been playing well on the road. But then as I started my research and my pregame prep, I noticed this team is dangerous, and this is not going to be a lollipop game. They're 2-4, but they got that Jekyll and Hyde going on. They got two big wins. They got one over Indianapolis, and they had another big win over San Diego. And those are two perennial playoff teams. So, yeah, they had bad losses against Houston. They had another bad loss earlier in the season, but this is a Jekyll and Hyde team. So this is one of those dangerous games where, like, the Giants can't go in there like, yeah, we're 5-1. We already beat three perennial playoff teams. We've arrived. We're here. Nah, it ain't going to work like that because this Jaguars team, one, is tough against the run. And two, they could run the ball. Let's be honest. They got the double-headed monster in Robinson and Athene. It's going to be tough. And with the Giants struggling to stop the run, Giants having one of the worst run Ds in the NFL right now, unfortunately. This ain't no layup. This ain't no lollipop. So, we're going to have to go in there. We're going to have to play hard-nosed football. We got Leo coming back, his second game back from injury. You're hoping he gets his legs under him a little bit more. I'm not sure about Aziz. I don't think he's playing, but we got three of the forts out there. So we got to stop that run. That's number one. And then we got to run the ball effectively. Those are just my basic, on the surface thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you 100%. I don't think this is a team that the Giants should overlook whatsoever because realistically, when you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars and, the guest I had on yesterday, Jags Fan Cave, we were talking about this. They could easily be 4-2.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence, he's still a stud of a quarterback. I know this is a new year and a new system, but, he's still a stud quarterback. They got some talent over there, especially on the offensive side of the ball. To your point, they have a very stout run defense. Actually, they're ranked number third in the entire league. Now,
Facts.
on another hand,
3.6 yards per carry they're giving up. That's raw. Only
exactly,
3.6.
exactly. But then on another hand, you look at the Giants and they have the number one rushing attack.
Facts.
For me, it's, I think it's, again, these two teams are going to balance each other. Where I think the Giants do have the edge, though, is in coaching. I mean, coaching
Mm.
really has just been very important to this team. I mean, you're seeing it week in and week out, especially coming out of the second half. I mean, how long has it been that we could say that this team makes correct adjustments, coming out of the half, and we're completely outscoring opponents, and it's not even by, a little margin. It's a wide margin. I gotta credit Wink Martindale, who, if you can shut out Aaron Rodgers, if you can, cause chaos for Lamar Jackson, as much as I respect the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, you can't convince me any way that he can't do that to Trevor Lawrence and, Doug Peterson over there. Now, to your point, I do like ETN. I do like James Robinson over there. They are nasty with it, But another point to our previous episode yesterday, it's funny. When you look at Jacksonville, a lot of times you don't know what you're gonna get with this offense. Their offense could be kind of hit or miss. He can have one game where he's on point, and then he has another game where he just is looking like he's throwing a ghost out there. Now, can Wink Martindale do that to Trevor Lawrence? I think so, Tommy. I really do.
Yeah, it's funny you say that too, because just a couple of stats real quick to piggyback what you said about the second halves. Giants basically right now, the first team this century to overcome double digit second half deficits in 3 of their first 6 games.
Wow.
The last 3 seasons, the Giants even had 3 such wins: 2007, 2011, and 2016. And we both know what happened those first 2 seasons.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
this is a second half team, and you just hit it on the head too. Most of the time, the team and the quarterback will be in sync with how they play and how the game goes, and you're starting to see that with the Giants. The Giants are a second half team. What is Daniel Jones developing into? He's developing into a second half quarterback. You've seen the last 2 games versus London and Baltimore, respectively, where there were times Jones had to throw the ball. In London versus Green Bay, when Saquon hurt his shoulder, Jones leads the team right down the field. Bing, bing, boom, touchdown. Versus Baltimore, he has the drive. He goes 5 for 5. We score another touchdown. So just like Jones and the Giants team are resembling each other as far as how they attack and how they approach the game. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. He's up and down. The team's up and down. It's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. And which Trevor Lawrence do you get, right? Do you get the Trevor Lawrence that has the 9 TDs to 4 touchdowns? Or do you get the Trevor Lawrence that choked the game away versus Philly? He had 4 fumbles in that game by himself.
Yeah.
Single-handedly lost that game. So I think, like you said, Wink has to attack. I love what he did last week versus Baltimore, especially that one play where he had the 3 defenders lined up in the one gap. I think it was Leo. I believe it was Leo Tibbs, and I can't remember who was the other one. And then they snapped it. Nobody had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
That's the type of stuff you want to do to a young quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. You want to leave him guessing to the final minute, second that he don't know what's happening. And then you got Kayvon Thibodeau, 3 straight games with 3+ pressures on the quarterback. So I don't think we have to say he's coming anymore, because you seen on that last play, he had the walk-off strip sack fumble.
Yeah, he did. He did. And you make an excellent point there, man. I mean, I think this could be a game where Kayvon gets right. And what I mean is, we maybe haven't seen it in terms of, the sacks, but he's getting back there. He's getting back there. You can definitely tell that his presence is being shown. And when you look at this Jacksonville offensive line, I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna be nice here and say that it's an average offensive line.
Yeah, it's mediocre.
But especially if we could get Aziz back, and obviously we don't know if he's gonna be back. But Kayvon, man, I mean, he's really being a difference maker on this defense. Same with Dexter Lawrence, who, I mean, this kid is just
My
monstrous. And
goodness.
one weakness of that Jaguars offensive line is the interior. So, yeah, I mean, you saw that going against Chicago. I mean, he just had a monstrous game, completely just dominated in the interior. Now, what can he do with Leonard Williams coming back? His second week, he's healthy. I mean, it gets me really excited. I love this defense. I'm very excited to see, Darnay Holmes paired up with Christian Kirk. I mean, that's going to
Yeah.
be a nice matchup there. But I think, also, this could be a game where we see our offensive line really take a step forward. I know a lot of people talk about, Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen, but I'm sorry, the New York Giants, they have a top two tackle in Andrew Thomas, and I have full trust that he's going to be able to hold down his own regardless whoever is on that side. And Evan Neal, I thought, had a fairly solid game against the Baltimore Ravens. Pretty much made Jason Pierre-Paul just invisible. You really couldn't tell that dude was on the field. So, I think the two rookies going back to back with each other, I mean, that would be really cool to see. But our interior, man, I mean, can they win in the trenches? Because we know what they could do in the run game. But I think we're going to see this offensive line potentially take a step forward in the passing game going against this Jacksonville defense. Now, my question to you is, Tommy, you know, you look at this team and they're young, they're gritty. Same thing could be said about the New York Giants. To you, why do you think that, or maybe not think, but why do you think that this could be a game that the Giants could win?
That's a good question, and I think it's tough because when you come into the season for the New York Giants, it's like stage zero for the rebuild, right? You got a brand new head coach, brand new GM, brand new coaching staff, rookie right tackle, rookie tight end, rookies all throughout the field.
Yeah.
So you really don't have any expectations, right? I laugh because we think about the blue white scrimmage that we had in the summer, right? And we were all like, "Damn, this is going to be a long year for the Giants," but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. You don't see what gets put behind the scenes, the work that gets put in. So when it comes to a game like this, when you're like, do you expect the Giants to win? Do you think that they could win? It's tough because you really don't know, and you really don't. Expectations wise, yeah, on paper, yeah, Giants are 5-1. They should come in and whoop them. But it's on the road, coming off a big win against Baltimore, an emotional win. You've seen Thibodeau crying, seen a couple players emotional. So you do worry about that letdown. But the one thing I don't worry about is number 26. And what I
Mm-hmm.
mean by that is, we have a superstar in this league. And when you have a superstar in this league, that's the ultimate field tilter, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That's the ultimate wild card. And just something to keep an eye on. Jaguars are starting Devin Lloyd, rookie linebacker. He's given up the most receptions in the NFL at the linebacker position. So
Wow.
my expectation is Giants going to try to establish the run. If the run is successful early, you're going to keep pounding. If it's not successful early, I look for Barkley to get in motion, in the slot, wheel routes, drags. The drag that Barkley had against Green Bay where he took it 40 yards. I look for them to try to get Barkley one-on-one with Lloyd because he has struggled in pass coverage. And I honestly think because of number 26, this Giants team is going to win Sunday because he has it. And what I mean by that is doesn't matter the down, the distance, the weather, the point spread. He's got that certain ability and that talent where not too many teams in this league are going to stop him. And listen, previous 2 years, and take out the injuries for a minute, when Barkley didn't get it going in the first half, it was pretty much a wrap. They were going to abandon the run. They were going to start passing every play. That's when you seen Jones start to struggle. Not this year. In the last two games, Barkley struggled in the first half to get going. They kept feeding him, and then boom, broke one here versus Green Bay. Boom, broke another one. Same thing versus Baltimore. Feeding them. And my man, if he would have scored on that last one, which he did the right thing, that's a smart football play,
Yeah.
the New York Giants would have scored 30 points versus Baltimore.
Which is
That's why I think they
insane.
win.
No, and man, I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I really don't think I could have. And I mean, if I could even add on to that, I mean, look at these rookies. I mean, Daniel Bellinger, Wandale
Crazy.
Robinson. I mean, they're really important pieces to this offense. I mean, Daniel Bellinger's looking like he could be a nice security blanket for Daniel Jones. I mean, he just seems to catch everything that's thrown to him, which I mean, we haven't seen at the tight end position in God knows how long, dealing with Evan Ingram, who's now in Jacksonville. And
Mm.
from what I'm being told, is still dealing with those same issues. So
I'm gonna need one of those. I'm gonna need one of those tips from him where we pick it off. He owes us about a dozen, so I'm gonna need at least one Sunday.
damn right. And I'm gonna need to see Xavier McKinney get his first interception, man. I think
Yeah,
he's due for one. And
he's been pretty quiet this season, right?
yeah, he has been. He has been. I mean, hey, Julian Love got the team's first interception last week, and I think now that they've got that, it's gonna get addicting. I really do
Yes.
feel that. I think that, Adoree Jackson, who all of us as Giants fans for the most part, praise that he's doing a very good job at the number one corner position. Dude doesn't have an interception yet this season.
Right.
Now,
Right.
you could credit that to him not really getting targeted like that, but I really want to see the secondary get some balls out of the air. Pause. Because sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, you know
No,
what
you
I
get.
mean? Like I really want to see them, take advantage of Trevor Lawrence because as talented as he is, not only in, the passing game and the running game, he's in his second year, man. This is a new regime for him, a new offense he has to learn. Again, yes, he has weapons, but at the same time, I mean, I look at our secondary and I think that they match very well with the weapons that they have over there. And to your point, Saquon Barkley, I'll never bet against this kid. I can't. This kid week in and week out carries this offense. I also got to give credit to Daniel Jones. He's doing a very good job. He's improving week in and week out. Nice 2 back-to-back games against former MVP quarterbacks. But 2-6 is just a beast. He's on one this season. He's really just dominating the field. I mean, I will say this much. I said this in my recap video. I would like to see a little bit less of the Wildcat in this game, just because I thought that we abused the hell out of it, against Baltimore. But I
Right.
mean, it's been working. So I get it. I mean, it's been working. But for me personally, want to see a little less of it. But get the ball to your playmakers. I mean, that's 2-6. That's Wandale. That's Daniel Bellinger. For all you Giants naysayers out there, that's Kadarius Toney when he comes back. I mean,
Yes,
get the
sir.
ball to your playmakers, and I promise you, we're gonna see a good product on the field. This offense, they're clicking more and more within the weeks. This offensive line is gonna get better. I mean, this team is young. I mean, and Tommy, I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. I feel like we could always talk about this on another video. But if this team, wins this game, and obviously you look at a team like Denver, or you look at a team, like the Jets maybe who are having some, controversy over there at the wide receiver position. I mean, the Giants could, I guess you could say, potentially look at some of these rookie players. Obviously, none of these players are coming up for a big contract, but I mean, if I don't know, man. I mean, I really want to believe that the Giants are going to make a move before the trade deadline at the wide receiver position. Because I don't know how long we could keep this going with the Marcus Johnsons of the world and the David Sills, especially if we're going to be stockpiling wins.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's interesting, and I think if you look at this season so far, the most remarkable aspect is that we're actually having a conversation about being buyers before the trade deadline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because before the season started, what were we mostly saying? When the Jones is not coming back, we hope. I mean, I've been a Barkley supporter, but large majority of fans were like, we hope he balls out the first 4 or 5 games so we can get a second rounder for him. But this season so dramatically turned around that we actually might be buyers. And if we are going to be buyers, definitely need a receiver. I don't know who that is. Honestly, I don't know if that's Jerry Jeudy. I see a lot of Jerry Jeudy talk out there.
Yeah.
I know he has the issues with the drops. Maybe a change of environment, change of coaching staff would be a help for him. I know a lot of talk, obviously, about Odell. Still hearing he's about a month and a half away from being able to even start getting into some football activities. So I don't think that really helps a lot as far as this season goes.
Yeah.
Although I would love to see OBJ back. You know that I'm
Oh,
a
me
big
too.
OBJ
Me
guy.
too.
You know, um, but at the same time, I won't be mad if we don't trade either because you know Shane has already shown with his drafting ability. I mean, look at this draft this year. And it's crazy, too, because we lost, 3 draft picks already from this class to
Yeah.
ACL injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We lost McKeithen. We lost Beavers, and look what we're still getting. Look some of the solid contributors on Sunday. Wandale, Bellinger, Evan Neal had his best game so far as a Giant,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you had Micah McFadden. He was in there. He's snaps have been cut down now because he's learning on the run, and it's not easy. So either way, I'm good. If they want to trade and say, hey, we want to get Daniel Jones a receiver because he definitely needs one. Like you said, just because something's working now, eventually that shoe drops. And we've seen a glimpse of that in the Dallas game, right? We've
Mm-hmm.
seen drops in the Dallas game. We've seen Sills fall down on a critical play, resulting in an interception. Who knows what could have happened in that game if he doesn't fall down? So as far as trading, I'm good if they do it. I'm good if they don't. And in Joe, we trust. That's our GM. He's good money with me until otherwise.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to complain either way. I mean, I don't think anyone as Giants fans should be complaining. We're winning. We have not done that in a
They're
long
still
time.
complaining though. You see it out
Oh,
there
I
though.
do. I try
They're
my
still
best to
fighting,
ignore
man.
it. I try so hard, but it's so hard. It is so hard to ignore it sometimes because you just want to tell people to be grateful because we don't know when we're going to have a season like this again. We can hope and pray that we have something better than what we're having next season, but it's not guaranteed. We only know what's going to happen right now. And right now,
What
the Giants are winning. The Giants are improving week in and week out, and they're believing in this franchise. And in Joe, I trust. I'm there with you 100%. I mean, they seem to find diamonds in the rough. I mean, another point too, Dane Belton, he could have really had an interception off Lamar Jackson.
Mm,
He could
good
have.
point,
That's
Dave
another
Belton.
pick there by Joe Shane. So I have full trust. They may even get a receiver we've never heard of and get some solid production. I mean, I know I just kind of slighted Marcus Johnson, but he's been relatively solid for us considering that I didn't even know about dude prior to us signing him. So, I mean, I trust Joe Shane and crew. I trust that this coaching staff will have these guys ready and coached up, and if not, they will make the adjustments at halftime and we'll be fine. But man, before we go out, let me get your score prediction if you got one. I know some people
Yeah.
don't like giving them, but I gotta get one
No,
from
I'm
you.
good. I guessed the score right correctly last week. I got lucky. I guess 24-20, which was dope.
Hey,
Um,
respect.
I'm gonna go Giants 27, Jacksonville 17. Mostly because I think Wink is gonna do a great job against a young quarterback. I think he's gonna make hell for Trevor Lawrence. We getting our horses back healthy. We got Leo out there, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. I think they're gonna have a great game cohesively. If Aziz comes back, more the merrier. I think we're gonna force Trevor into some turnovers. Also, I think we'll limit the running game enough to where on those few dropbacks Lawrence has to have, we can impact him. But the key is that rushing attack of Jacksonville because the Ravens almost cooked us because we could not stop that run. And there's two things that are the most deflating in an NFL game. One, having your opponent run all over you. Two, having them run all over you right up the gut of the defense.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crushing. So I think that changes this week. I think we get to Trevor Lawrence a couple times. I think he has a sack, a pick, couple turnovers. On the flip side for the Giants offense, I think Barkley gets his. I think it's going to be more in the passing game. I think they're going to get him in some one-on-one matchups with their linebackers, especially Lloyd, like I said a couple of times. And Barkley's going to do his thing. And I expect Jones to keep taking baby steps forward. I put a stat out this week, as far as CPOE. He is number one in the NFL the last 3 weeks. And that's an amazing metric because basically what that metric is saying, hey, all the chips are stacked against you on this play. You're not going to complete it with accuracy. And you complete it with accuracy. So when I put it out there this week, some people were like, well, that's cherry picking and this, and that. But that's going against Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers in that time frame.
Yeah.
So I think the Giants do just enough on offense. 27 points is a nice number. And I think Lawrence on the back end of it loses the game for Jacksonville.
You know what? I will say this much. They say great minds think alike. You guys saw, if you have not, you could go to my Jags fan cave video. I had the New York Giants winning 28-17. So
Okay, I
great
see you.
minds think alike.
I see you, my
Tweakers
boy.
unite. But man, this is gonna be a good game. I mean, I think DJ again. He's improving week in and week out. When you have 2-6 on the field, you have a shot every chance, in my opinion. This defense is only going to get better. They're only going to build more camaraderie. And Kayvon is only going to get better, in my opinion. He's
Thanks.
only going to get more confident. I'm expecting 2 sacks from him in this game, and I'm expecting Xavier
Okay.
McKinney to get
Ho,
his
ho, ho,
first
ho.
interception. Boom, 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 boom. So, hey, listen, man, thank you guys so much for joining us today. I had a great time
Absolutely.
with Tommy. I know you guys had a good time, but my man, you got anything else you want to say before we let the people go?
My brother, all I want to say is first and foremost, you for having me on. I love what you're doing out there with the content creation.
Thank you.
You want to you one of the realest ones out there. You do it the right way. You put enormous amounts of time, energy, and focus into your content. Like I said, I don't do shows with just anybody. I do them with you because you are that dude. You do have that passion. You do it for the right reasons. You don't do it for likes and retweets and subscribers. You do it because you want quality content out there for the fan base. That's the same reason I do it. So anybody watching the show, if you haven't subscribed to Tommy's Takes on the Giants Country YouTube, please do so. Really means the world to me. When we're working and we making this content and we're trying to balance the content with work life and personal life, those little things add up and they really mean the world to us content creators. When I get a sub, I'm sure you feel the same way here. When I get a sub in a day or 2 subs, that makes my day. That lets me know that I'm touching some of the fans and they're liking the content. That keeps me pushing, working harder and stronger. So respect to you, respect to the Hit Squad. The show is fire, straight flames, graphics fire,
Boop, boop,
content's
boop.
fire. Boop, 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 boop. And like I said, subscribe to Tommy's Takes. We got some hot content coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be doing more stuff with my mans and we're going to work it.
Yes, man. You can't see it because you can't see me right now, but you almost put your boy in tears. I really appreciate, you got me at a loss for words. I can't even talk right now, man. I mean,
Nah, you're my
and I feel
brother.
the
You're my
same
brother.
way,
Straight up.
man. Exactly, bro. Facts, man. And listen, y'all know how I'm rocking with Tommy, man. I mean, the
And
proof is
listen,
in
one
the
more thing.
pudding.
Hold on. And I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way, but I've been a big supporter of Jones, since day one. That's really how I kind of got my name out there by putting myself out there for Jones when a lot of people wouldn't. And I know a lot of people that, friends with you and content creators, they may be on the other side of that. They may not really mess with me in that area because of that. But that's the realest thing about you. You didn't care about that. You reached out and we connected. And regardless of any sports opinion, those connections mean the most. And that's why I
Absolutely.
mess with you. And that's why I'm always be here for you.
Likewise, bro. Likewise, man. And I'm very excited for your growth. You're doing one hell of a job. I'm telling y'all, if you
Thank
have not already, go to his channel, check out the content. You will not be disappointed. But until the next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.